going for the first race of the Formula E Monoposto Championship. It's B-Dragon Sonic from Ehuten and Mikasui. Then it's Debris for Venturi, Batuko, and Ender Dragon Danny. Then it's Rodney Solo, Newman, and Ravo for next EV Neo. Then it's Martinez in 10th from Catfish and Firebird. Pisietta, Marcus Nelson, Paul Canny, Alan Lee, and Tom Family Andretti. Then it's UK Wolf down in 18th from Megia, not Lewis Hamilton, Pam Wally, and K Medicis. Here in Shanghai then, legends could be told of legends made as well. All 5 lights go on for the first race in the Formula E Monoposto Championship. And we are green in Shanghai, even start from the top 2 Renault Edams drivers up. So we now look at the number 3 Houston driving in Dale Earnhardt's famed number. But he's lost out to his own teammate at the start. The 2 drivers is out in front, doing pretty well to maintain the positions. As Ender Dragon Danny in the 19 gets a 5-second time penalty. Yes, this is a redub of the first ever Formula E Monoposto Championship race. We look at Debris now. For Venturi, as Medicis gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Only now am I be reminded by the fact that the old penalties were white background, red text. Wasn't that interesting for a time. Mikasui's gone past Houghton, and Debris goes up into 4th place. Houghton on the hard tyres. They're not going to be working to his advantage. Do I remember who the fan boost winners were for this race? No, I don't. Does it matter? To be honest, in retrospect, the fan boost didn't actually do too much. Debris on the back of the Renault Edams of Houghton goes to the inside. And there's surely a bit of a straight line speed advantage for Venturi. As there goes Debris down the inside. And up into that position. Paul Canny has been given a 5-second time penalty as well. Those old graphics do be hitting hard though. Alan Lee in 17th, looking for a way to get past as we go into lap 2 of what seems to be 16. Back when Marcus Nelson was driving for Mahindra, a team that couldn't get race wins back then, and also when he was driving in the 58. Anyway, Mikasui trying to get past B-Dragon Sonic, who at this point in time was running in 13. Remember, all of that has changed over 10 seasons. Just looking back at this is insane to me. Houghton has dropped down to 5th place. That's unfortunate for him. As we see Rodney Solo, team principal and driver for Venturi, he try and take down the inside here in Shanghai. That's very close to contact, but just not close enough to actually collide. And he's been passed by Ender Dragon Danny in the Aldi, but Solo's not done with him yet. Ender Dragon Danny and Houghton both been passed by the Venturi driver, and an EDD looks to be trying to take it down the inside. Late lunge, and it's a lunge that has worked for the Audi driver. And on lap 3, as the race leaders come across the line to stop that lap, Megia, he's up on 2 wheels. Fastest lap of the race going to Newman there. But my goodness me, that was definitely something interesting to see happen again. So Megia now down in 21st. And the penultimate position, I think he's missing part of his front wing. He is missing part of his front wing, is he? Don't know, actually, I can't tell. But he will most likely when he comes into the pits. He might lose out to not Lewis Hamilton. That's the likelihood here. That is the likelihood. That's when I spelled it Bitoku. I'm sorry. That was a bit of a mistake for the 25, sorry. But anyway, that Audi driver in the 25 Batuko, currently running in 9th place. Not bad, but his teammate is 3 positions ahead, so he might need to get a move on. Just a bit of a word of advice. And Mikasui is gaining on B-Dragon Sonic there. Not quite close enough to actually make the pass, but still somewhat close enough where it does seem to be a problem for the race leader. Debris sets a new fastest lap of the race. Mohammed Awawi gets a 5 second time penalty for causing a collision. That seems to be with Catfish, the DS version driver, colliding with the trolley driver, I believe that is trolley. Mikasui setting a fastest first sector. He has gotten himself into the lead. Debris gets past B-Dragon Sonic, so the pole sitter has been shuffled down 2 positions there. Is now the number 16. He's been passed by B-Dragon Sonic again. B-Dragon Sonic takes that inside line and makes it his own up into second place again. He goes on only lap 4. There's so much intrigue happening. He's gonna send it down the inside. He's made the move stick. Covers off the inside line. Brilliant move from Debris, the Monegasque driver, with that move. But it's not done yet. Hitting DRS down this main straight then. I believe they both have it. Yeah, they both do, because Sui just able to keep in DRS range, but down the inside he goes. That was your pole sitter, sending it down the inside as he tries to make a name for himself. Everyone is here. It is the first race of this championship. What was a new championship that would go on to have 10 seasons, and very close for Debris there, coming through turn 1. And it switches back on itself. That was a very close, very dangerous move, but that is a move that has indeed worked for him. So that's second place for Debris. Look at Nuka now. He's got himself up into 8th place there for Audi. Very, very good work for the Germans. Sponsored by a Brazilian firm. That is who Schaeffler is, apparently. I might need to look that up again, but you never you worried. He's losing ground to Martinez, the man currently in 7th. So it's a bit worrying, of course, for him. But yeah, the top 2, currently Mikasui and Debris. Mikasui, I do believe, is the team principal of Dragon Racing. His teammate Newman, currently in 4th, so as it stands, the team doing the best on a team standpoint is Dragon Racing, with Mikasui in the lead and his teammate in 4th. Closest you get to that is Ronnie Sola, who is 6th, and Debris, who is 2nd. But then you look at the guys who are holding down the front row, they're currently 3rd and 10th as out of the race. Goes P. Sierra at the pit lane exit. There's his stricken DS Virgin car, and he is out, and we now have a safety car as into the pits comes Medicis. So now lap cars have been allowed to pass the safety car. I do not believe we've had any. Yes, I did cut a bit of that safety car period out, and in that safety car period it did begin to start raining, so we're now on intermediate tires. I did hold my tongue for a second, just making sure. But yeah. When there's a safety car now, and it's Mikasui from Debris and Dragon Sonic. Then it's Newman and the Dragon Danny, Ronnie Sola, Martinez, Batuco, Ravo, and Houghton. And it's Firebird, U-Cable, Alan Lee, Tom O'Connor, we've missed this guy, Mohammed Awawi, Catfish, Paul County, Megia, Medicis, Marcus Nelson, and not Lewis Hamilton, making up the 21 drivers still in this race. Oh yeah, I should probably mention this. You know, in the official channel server, which is now links in the description of all of my videos because that's how it works. That's how it works now, apparently on mobile. there should be some interesting news coming in about a potential video game on the channel. I know, quite wacky, right? But the idea of the game is to be like more custom, but even more creative focused. Meant to have a more user-friendly handling model. It's meant to be more optimized and yet have same features as all of the major mobile F1 games. As the safety car is coming into the pits at the end of this lap, Mikasui will lead us away for our first ever safety car restart. Remember, this race is fun. Here we go. So as we come through the final turn, then you can see the safety car peel in. And Mikasui takes a bit of a break there as we head to the line. It is pretty slow because this is back in one of the older versions of the game. And we go green again. Debris, can he get a pretty good launch off the back of Mikasui? He's tried to look for an inside line, but he's not quite there for him. So B-Dragon Sonic makes the switcheroo there through the first turn and into second place. Goes to number 13. Debris also just managed to hold off Newman, the American driver who partners Mikasui and has been passed by Bladed Dragon Sonic. In just 4 turns, he's gotten himself back up into the lead again. Very nice moves from the number 13 there. His teammate still down in 10th, seemingly fighting with Rabo. As we look at Ender, Frank Danny, and now Batuko. The number 25 currently in 8th, and we now look down. We were looking at Marcus Nelson for Mahindra. Didn't look to be doing too much. But Mikasui on the back of Blade Dragon Sonic. He's already lost a whole second to him. How has he managed that? That was insane stuff from him. So we come through the penultimate turn, and this next bit's technically just a kink that gets you back to the aim straight, but it is the penultimate turn. We're on lap 10 of how many laps there are. This is the issue of doing the voiceover in CapCut. You can't actually tell how many laps there are until the race ends. Houston on the back of Ravo, trying to gain into the next TV Neo as we're on board with the Amlin Andretti of Firebird, the number 48. He's lost 2 seconds to the Renault Edam's car ahead, and right now he's just trying to hold position, it seems, and most likely defend from Ukable behind him, who started 18th, is currently 12th. Gotta say, that's a pretty good start for him. Also, notice how all of the World Drivers' Champions started in this race. All of them started in this race. Not too sure if all of them finished. I know for a fact that not all of them scored points. Marcus Nelson. But then again, he did actually get himself up into 18th place there. It does seem to be drying up a little bit. Not too sure if it's dry enough for the softs, which would be the optimum dry tire to have in the wet condition. As we now look at the number 7, still holding off Houghton down the inside on the Mahindra. Martinez goes Batuko to Countryman. There goes the Audi driver, sliding about there. I do believe it's still wet. Houghton's been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Ravo. They go side by side, coming through the final turn here, and out of the race has gone Houghton. Another safety car that's gone dry. Oh, they were both coming into the pits, and as his teammate comes out of the pits in front of everyone, Houghton is out of the first Formula E Hostage Championship race in Shanghai. Can you believe it happened immediately? And by immediately, I mean on lap 11. While safety car ending at the end of this lap, Blade Dragon Sonic will be leading us away in the number 13 for Renault Edams for what will hopefully be the last safety car restart of this Shanghai E3. We'll get back racing on lap 15. Mikasui is second, Debris third, Ender Dragon Danny fourth, Martinez will be fifth, with Ronnie Solon sixth. We go green again in Shanghai, and that does seem to be a better getaway for Mikasui, and we've got a 5-second time penalty from Mohamed Awawi. That does seem to have been quite a bit of contact in that lower midfield there. Marcus Nelson's got himself up to 15th place. That's not quite points, but look at the trolley of Mohamed Awawi in the 71 car. He's got himself into 15th. Down the inside goes Debris. Takes the lead of this E-Prey. But the number 13 comes back in and Blade Dragon Sonic saying, no, you stay back there. I'll have my race win. Newman sets the fastest first act of anyone, but what a hectic race restart. Absolutely magnificent stuff here. Fastest second sector going to be Dragon Sonic in the number 13 car. Mega in the 14 from McLaren Neon. He's trying to make some moves if he can. He's got himself up into 19th, slides his way up into 18th, and uses the inside line to go side by side with Marcus Nelson. This could be 3 overtakes in just a handful of corners. That is 3 overtakes in a handful of corners. That is 17th for Megia. But Marcus Nelson comes back at him, and it's only going to be 2 at the end of the day. Still an impressive showing of pace for the number 14 of Megia. On to lap 16 then, of what seems to be a 19-lap race if I am seeing this correctly. Fastest lap of the E-Prix going to Martinez, a 1:16.250. The number 9 car just ahead of the 10 by 0.3 of a second, that says. Either way, very impressive for Mahindra, seeing as the car isn't really too quick, but still one of the drivers is able to pull out this much from that car. Catfish does seem to be going pretty slowly, but he is on the hard tyres, so it's probably down to that. But Wavo on the back of Batuco, he inadvertently took out the number 3, so quite possibly might be a guy to look out for. UK Ball dropped down to 13th, and he's on the hard compound of tyres. Unfortunate for him. Just Redub one of his races. Enter Dragon Daddy in a bit of no man's land here. He's quite a bit away from Mikasui, but also quite far ahead of Martinez. I remember having an issue with 2 Mahindra drivers because Marcus Nelson is MAR or MEL as Debris sets a new fastest lap of the race. And yet, that seems to confuse me quite a bit, but you know, it's normal. Dragon Sonic still leading the way, 0.4 of a second away from Debris, so he's not out of the woods just yet, because DRS it is enabled already, so that will concern him most likely. And the Dragon Danny on the back of Mikasui. This is the fight for the final place on the podium here. It's between AppSafe, Audi Sport and Dragon Racing. What should be on course for a Friday Future sponsor, if I am correct. Sponsorships actually came into the server in Season 2. Debris actually losing ground to Dragon Sonic there. Absolutely no reason as to why. He brakes and he closes the gap back, but it's still not close enough to actually make an overtake. The only way he can theoretically make the pass is if he tries to make the dive bombs then. Go on to lap 18 then, the penultimate lap of the race, still on board with Debris, driving for Venturi, which would this season would mark to be only one of 2 seasons Venturi would ever feature in the championship, which is pretty weird to think about, seeing as in real life they made it all the way to season 4 before being rocketed, and then season 9 where stuff happened to them, but I don't want to talk about that. Muhammad Awawi and Tom O'Connor fighting over what seems to be 14th place. It's Amlin Andretti versus Trulli. Just realised that the Trulli colour on the icon is different to the actual driver number pop-up colour. Unlike a Guri, where it's the closest one that we could have. Just remember that this was back when Apex Grand Prix was a thing that people were looking forward to. Remember Apex Grand Prix? I don't. There goes UK ball on Muhammad Awawi though. That is 14th place for the Briton. But Malaysia's Muhammad Awawi still fighting over the position, sends it down the inside. Fruitless attempt though, because UK ball still holds down that position. Very nice work from the number 89. He'll go on to do some great stuff, I'm sure. But on to the final lap of the E-Prix then. The fight for the lead still not done yet between B-Dragon Sonic and Debris. As Muhammad Awawi gets another 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Apparently that's 15 seconds if I can read that correctly. B-Dragon Sonic's the new fastest first sector of the race. Many drivers trying to make some last lap overtakes. We're down to 20 runners in this race, by the way, as the race lead is now coming through the second and entering the final sector. This is where it's made or lost. 0.5 of a second between the race leaders. B-Dragon Sonic has another fastest sector, this time for the second. Coming through the second snailiest corner on the track. Usually this is banked, by the way. Martina setting a new fastest second sector of the race. They're both gunning for the fastest lap, and then in first and fifth. But coming down to the penultimate turn, Debris is nowhere near close enough to try and make an overtake. Through the penultimate turn, he comes. The first ever Formula E monoposto championship race here in Shanghai. It's gonna be won by B-Dragon Sonic for Renault Edams. And he sets a fastest lap of the race with that as well, a 1:25.166. Mikasui will come home in third, with Debris who is second. Martinez, however, take a round of applause. Started 10th, finishes 5th. Not quite close enough to get 4th place from Ender Dragon Danny though, as all the other drivers come across the line then. What a race that was. That was a trip down memory lane though, wasn't it? Incredible racing in the first season. That's what we had. And this is your podium then. B-Dragon Sonic for Renault Edams, from Debris, for Venturi, and Mikasui for Dragon Racing. What a race it was, and look at that, no British driver or Dutch driver on the top step of the podium. Instead, you've got Nigeria. I wonder if this driver would go on to take multiple championships. Anyway, this is your official classification. I'm not going to read it out because I'm pretty sure the quality is clear enough where you can read it yourself. Also, because my voice is getting a bit rusty. Sorry. I hope you're enjoying the music in the background. God, that took a long time. So Then in the driver's standings leaving here, I do believe it was the exact same, as you can see, as the finishing order. Speeddragon Sonic leading the way from Debris and Mikasui. That is your top 10. So in the constructors standings coming into the Marina Bay E-Prix, but you gotta watch yourself, Venturi and Renault Edams tied on points from Dragon Racing and Mahindra. And then it's Akshay Ferrari Sport. What's a top 5? This never happened again. We'll see you guys next time for whatever race I want to redub or dub myself. So, see ya!